Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel where I make quality content that nobody really asked for. Since it's the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, I thought I'll show you guys my top favorite things I got for my collection in 2024 because I love to do these and the year wrap up of showing you guys all the favorite things I buy because I do buy quite a bit of stuff for my collection. But it's always fun to say which is my favorite stuff I did buy. So I narrowed down to 10 stuff. Usually I do more than 10, but my collecting was a little bit smaller this year just because, just like most people, money was tight and I didn't have a lot of funds to buy as much stuff I wanted for my collection, which is fine because I still got some amazing things that I'm going to show you in this video. So I'm very excited. So let's just dive right in. When I'm talking about my collection, I mean my whole collection itself. I'm not just talking about one part of it like my Miraculous or my Teen Titans, all of it. So in this video, we'll get a good mix of everything, which makes me very happy. And everything here I did by myself. That was a requirement. Everything has to be bought by me, and everything got to be bought before December. Because sometimes I feel like if I buy something in December and film this video, like that thing would be my favorite automatically because it's new. So I said everything I bought January through November will be in here. So in the number 10 spot, I gotta give it to the Creep Productions that came out this year from Mattel. These are always gonna make it on my top 10 list if they come out this year just because I love these dolls. They're some of my favorite to collect. I do own all of them, and every time they come out with a line, it makes me very happy. So they did came out with Wave 2 this year with Abby, Clear and Deuce, Spectra, and Gulia, and I did buy all of 3 of them online and in store, and it's always a happy time. My favorite from that line is actually Clear and Deuce, but they're on my shelves and they're kind of hard to get to, so I'll show you my second favorite, which was Abby, because Abby's amazing. But I love all of these dolls and they all deserve to be on this list. And one thing I do love about these dolls is they do it so well. Like, they keep the original box. I mean, they change it a little bit to fit the new wave, obviously, but like this gives the same energy as the 2010 dolls. They look great. Like, their screenings are always amazing. Like, we've seen some really bad reproduction of old doll lines like Bratz. We see how bad they are. So the fact that Monster High did a good reproduction line, and the fact that they slay, they're affordable, you know, they're only like $24 for a quality doll like this, I think it's great. So I'm very happy with these. And yeah, and they came out with Wave 2 this year, and they also did a re-release of Wave 1. So I already own Wave 1, so I didn't need to buy the re-release, but yes. And as a person who loves the Gen 1 of Monster High but can't really get Gen 1 dolls just because they're expensive and always in bad shapes, I do love that Mattel give us this option so we still can collect Monster High dolls new in box for a great price. So I love these dolls a lot. So this is my number 10 this year, which is the Monster High Creep Production. All of them basically, but Abby is very cute. And one of the so if you hear any drilling, sawing, or any noises in the background that seems like they should not be here, I do apologize because that's my neighbors and they love to be noisy and it drives me nuts. I wish they were not that way, but it makes me want to move, and I do not like them. I'm like, there's a few people I despise in this world, and my neighbors are one of them. Like, but anyways, I do apologize for any noise. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, trust me. I've been trying to do something about it since they moved here. But anyways, so my number 9 spot, I gotta shout out my DC Barbies, because most of the stuff I do buy from my collection don't come out the year I'm talking about them. Like, most of my collection, these stuff did not come out in 2024. I think the only one who actually did was the Monster High Creep Production. I do like my older toys, so a lot of stuff I'm mentioning here are older, like my DC Barbies here. So I love DC Comics a lot, even though I have a toxic relationship with them right now because they do some bad, crusty things over there right now, especially with James Gunn. But I still love them, and the DC Barbies are something I always wanted because I think they're great. I just never got around to buying them until now, and you know, I bought these all in box. I knew they're gonna come really beat up, so I probably have to unbox them one day, but I still do love them even if I had to unbox them. So my favorite one that I got from the lot I got was definitely Batgirl, but I do love all the DC Barbies I got, which was like Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Supergirl, and Batgirl, but I'm definitely a Batgirl fan, so she is definitely my favorite DC Barbie that I got this year. And one thing I like about her that she, like, the artwork here gives Batman the animated series, which is a great universe, even if DC decides to erase it for James Gunn, but that's not what this video is about. Yeah, I do love the DC Barbies, and I'm so glad I finally got most of them this year. So yes, and Batgirl is definitely a favorite just because she also has a sparkly suit. If you don't know, I do make cosplays, and all my superhero suits tend to be shiny or sparkly, so I love that the Barbies like that. And these are early 2000 Barbies, which are my favorite face molds, so everything about this Barbie is just everything to me. So I love her a lot, so she definitely deserved the number 9 spot. So in the number 8 spot, we're going again with the DC comic Disney because again, I'm a giant DC fan and my favorite DC thing to collect is obviously Teen Titans, the other love of my life. When it's not Miraculous, it is Teen Titans. So this year I did discover these plush Teen Titans dolls that came out for the 2003 show. So these are very old, at least 20 years old. And they come out with a whole full set of characters like Robin, Raven, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Starfire. But I only managed to find Robin and Raven in the big form and Robin and Cyborg in the small form. But I'm so happy that I found them in general. So yeah, the bigger form is much more my favorite size. It's about 14 inches tall. The smaller size is about 9 inches, 6 inches, like very tiny. It could be a doll for this doll. And I really do like these, and I only got him for $14 on eBay, and I also got Raven from the same seller for $14, so they basically became 30 bucks, which for vintage Teen Titans toys, that's not a bad price, and especially for Raven because she's a little bit more harder to find, not Robin so much. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys Robin just because he was the closest one to me, and I do like the Robin more, a little bit more than Raven, because sometimes the girl merging Teen Titans could be a little bit uncanny. The boys always tend to look a little bit better. But yeah, I do love these plushies a lot, and I'm so glad that I bought them in 2024 because they really help add a little bit diversity in my Teen Titans collection, because a lot of it is just action figures. So when I can put a little plush doll in there, I think it's very fun. So hopefully one day I can get a whole set, because I need Cyborg, Starfire, and Beast Boy in the big dolls, and then the girls and Beast Boy in the small dolls. But until then, I'm happy with who I have, and at least I got Raven in one of them, so it's not too bad. But hopefully I can get Beast Boy soon. But yeah, showing you Robin, which is also fitting because I showed you Batgirl before this, and now I'm showing Robin. Look at that. Alrighty, moving on to number 7, which is also going on the same theme, but not DC Comics, but Monster High. And I'm showing it kind of weird because I'm just leaving her in her cardboard box for now, because I actually have 2 of her, and my out-of-box one is in my sewing area, and I don't want to get her, and this one was near me. And she's still in her cardboard box because I haven't put her on display yet. But what I'm talking about here is the San Diego Comic-Con Ghoulia doll that came out this year. And again, fit with the same thing of Monster High, but she's also a superhero. And again, I'm a giant superhero fan, so you mentioned Monster High and superhero-ness together is automatically going to be a favorite of this year. So I really do love this Dead Fast Ghoulia. And I think it's interesting that they came out with another version of her, because they did have a Dead Fast-ish type Ghoulia that come out for San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm surprised that they made another San Diego Comic-Con Ghoulia in the same vibe, and I want to complain about that, but honestly I'm not, because I don't own the original Dead Fast Ghoulia, so they basically revamped her in this one, and I do like this one a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys what it looks like in her cardboard box, because I don't want to take her out and damage the box right now. But yeah, I have 2. I loved her so much that I bought 2 of her, and I normally don't do that with the collector dolls just because they are expensive. But again, you mix Monster High and superheroes together, it's gonna be a love for sure. And the only reason why she's like number 7 instead of higher than the list is I don't really like her inbox packaging. Like, it's not as beautiful as some other collector dolls in my opinion, but at least the doll itself is good. So even though I have not put my review up of her yet, that'll probably be after this video, but even though I kind of like being mean to her in my unboxing, I thought she's still a great doll, so she definitely deserved the number 7 spot. Alright, we're on number 6 now, and we're finally going to mention a Mark's Ladybug product, because if you don't know, Miraculous is obviously my favorite thing to collect, so obviously their stuff would be higher on this list. So here's my first mention of my favorite Mark's Ladybug thing I got, which is kind of small, but for me, I love it a lot, so I'd rather just have it on this list because I love it so much than saying putting something else that I don't love as much, which is this acrylic standee of Adrian and Marinette in the umbrella scene. The umbrella scene from Miraculous is one of my favorite scenes from the show. Obviously, like, I got the figure of it. I love that scene so much. So when I saw this on acrylic standee, I knew I needed a lot. But this is from Japan actually. This is fully licensed Japanese Rex Ladybug merch, and when it comes to Japan collecting, their stuff could get really pricey just because shipping alone is expensive, and they love to jack things up for no apparent reason in Japan when it comes to selling it in the American market. So I don't have a lot of Japanese merch, and a lot of Japanese merch is acrylic type collectibles, like standees, keychains. If it could be acrylic, that is what they're gonna make it. And sometimes I don't want to pay $50 for a standee or a little keychain. I'd rather spend that $50 and buy like a doll or something. So I did want this standee for the longest time because this came out a few years ago, but I never got around to it just because, again, I don't want to pay $50 for this standee. But I saw it in a lot one time on Mercari, and the whole lot was like $30, and it came with all these other cool stuff from Japan. So I bought that lot, and I do have a reel on it on my collector's Instagram, and this was the main highlight of it. And I love this acrylic stand so much because, again, the umbrella scene from Miraculous is one of my favorite scenes because it's so romantic, so beautiful. So the fact that it's on the standee in the Japanese artwork is just absolutely stunning. And I'm so happy that I did not pay a lot of money for this because I got it in a lot with a lot of other cool stuff from Japan. But I definitely had to shout this out because I love it a lot. Again, I will keep saying I love it a lot over and over again, and it fits perfectly in my Adrianette shrine, right next to the Zag Hero Store umbrella scene figurine. So I love it a lot. So definitely a favorite. So that is number 6. Alrighty, we're on number 5. You know what that means? We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. But anyways, we're on number 5, and I had to get the number 5 spot to these Teen Titans statues that I got like December this year. They're supposed to be my birthday present I bought for myself because these could get pretty pricey online if you want the whole set like I got. And of course, I'm just shouting out Beast Boy because Beast Boy is my favorite Teen Titans character and just my favorite character in fictional media in general. I love him a lot, so he'll get the spotlight for this spot. But one thing about these stands, when I bought them, they all came broken, so I had to fix them. Beast Boy is the only one that came out semi-okay, which is okay because Beast Boy is my favorite, and I did got a refund on it. I do have a video on it that will come out soon, but I still love them anyways, and they still deserve this spot because these are still very cool. Again, add really nice diversity in my collection, and the fact that I got the whole set of them at once is really nice. So they are all out of box. I don't have an inbox, which is fine because I have much more room to display inbox stuff versus out of box stuff. But yeah, I just gotta show Beast Boy off for this spot just because, again, Beast Boy is my favorite Teen Titans, so he'll get a lot of spotlight in this video, hint hint. So he is very cute, so he definitely deserves the number 5 spot. Alrighty, spoiler alert, because everything here on out from my number 4 list till number 1 is all gonna be Miraculous or Teen Titans related, just because, again, Teen Titans and Miraculous are my favorite. And when it comes to Teen Titans merch, they're gonna be a lot of the same character because I am a giant Beast Boy fan. He is my favorite superhero. He is my favorite fictional character in general. Like, I love Beast Boy. If I could have a shrine of him, just him, I would. Like, I love Beast Boy. Like, that's one thing I take away from this video is my love for Beast Boy. So anything Beast Boy merch I got this year will automatically be a favorite. And this action figure is definitely a favorite. So this is the DC Universe action figures by Mattel. He came out in 2009, and I really do love the Mattel action figures. I think they did a great job when they had the license to do DC stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the McFarlane figures, but the Mattel ones back in the day, I think they just look so much nicer. And yes, and I find this interesting because he's supposed to be like based off his comic book look. That was the vibe of this series are, like their comic book looks kind of similar to McFarlane, but they give him a black and purple suit, and the black and purple suit is really more specific to the 2003 show in the comic book, especially during this time in 2003, and or are they basing off Mark Wolfman Beast Boy as well? He has a black, not black and red, white and red suits. The fact that they gave him more of the Teen Titans cartoon vibe, which is very interesting. And if you know anything about the McFarlane Beast Boy, I did a video on him, I believe. He also comes with a bird, which I find interesting as well. So there's something about like Beast Boy and him having a bird and an action figure. Why is that like a common theme with his action figures? I don't know, but I really do love this Beast Boy action figure. He's probably one of the best looking ones, because sometimes with Beast Boy action figures he could look like asparagus sometimes, but this one looks really good. Like, he actually looks like a man. And if I imagine a cool Beast Boy figure, he would definitely look like this. And I also have the Raven that comes out with this series as well, and she's more based off her more Wolfman look, and which is also very similar to her comic book look during this time as well for the Jeff John line. So I like having them both together. They look very, very cute. And I got Raven 2 years ago, I think, during 2023, my Teen Titans year. So I had to get 2020. So in 2024, I had to get her boost. So I finally got him, and they look amazing together. So he's definitely my number 4 spot. This is an awesome Beast Boy action figure, and I highly recommend him because he's not that hard to find online. It could be pricey, but definitely worth it. Alrighty, we made it to the top 3 spots. These are the top 3 things I got this year for my collection that was my favorite. So here we are. So in number 3, I have to mention the second wave of the Miraculous Ladybug Okadama plushies, or the Zoom Zooms. These are also from Japan as well. See a vibe, Adrian Marinette merch from Japan, and I didn't expect them to make a series 2 of these plushies, but they actually did. And they came out with Adrian Marinette, Cat Blanc, and Lady Noir, and later on they also came out with Luca and Julica, and I was very excited when they announced these that I bought them right away, and these are really cute. Now I have almost a whole set. I'm still missing Luca and Julica, but I'll get them one day. I do have unboxing on these on my channel if you're interested, but I'm just showing you guys Marinette and Adrian because, again, Marinette and Adrian are my favorite type of merch. And look at these little plushies with so much detailing. I'm a giant like Zoom Zoom fan when Disney make those, and so I love these Okadama toys because of that, and I love that they have Miraculous ones, and they look so cute on my shelf. And again, for these tiny little bean figures, they have so much nice detailings on them, so I'm so happy they came out with Adrian and Marinette, because again, anything Adrianette will automatically be my favorite merch, just because when it comes to Rex Ladybug merch, I love collecting their civilian cells. They're just my favorite, maybe because Marinette's pink, and pink is my favorite color, but I love these a lot, and I'm so happy they came out with more, and I hope they will continue coming with more. And I also love it they come out with bigger sizes, like when I can show you. Like, Zoom Zooms came out with these giant Zoom Zoom sizes, like this is the Donald Duck one. Okay, I was hoping they didn't fall over and knock over my Stanley and then spill all over my comic books. That'd be awful. But I'm good with the normal sizes, but I love these a lot. And again, the Marinette and Adrian are my favorite from this series, so they get the little spotlight for this video, but they're so cute, especially Marinette. So I highly recommend them, but don't recommend them because I want to buy them all. So, but they're still really cute. I love them. Alrighty, we're down to the top 2 items in my collection that I got this year, and the number 2 item, I love her a lot. I can't stop staring at her. And fun fact, I think this is actually the first thing I bought for my collection in 2024, because I bought her back in January. So the fact that I had her since the beginning of this year all the way towards the end, and she's still one of my favorite purchases, really says something. So the number 2 spot, I have to give it to my Baby Brick Brazil Max Ladybug doll. If you don't know anything about these dolls, they're about 22 inches tall, and they're only available in Brazil, I believe, or at least in South America, but I believe they only sell them in Brazil. And I wanted this doll so bad. Just mostly the Ladybug. Like, I did like the other dolls that came out, but I was good with just Ladybug, and I wanted her since I started collecting. But these dolls could get a little expensive. Like, the cheapest I ever saw her before I bought this one was $50, but her face was like all smeared and chipped, and it was not worth $50 in my opinion. But you just want like a good condition one, I see her go around for over $100. Like, she can get really pricey just because you have to import her from Brazil, and she's only available in Brazil. So if you're from Brazil, this is probably not a hard doll to get, but since I'm in America, this doll is like a unicorn. So I thought I would never get her because I don't want to pay that giant price for her. So I was like, I'll just admire her from a distance and just like manifest it, and I get that manifesting work because she actually popped up on Mercari one day for $17. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. I'm just looking at her because like I bought her during my no buy too, because I bought her in January, and usually in the beginning of the year I don't buy anything because I'm saving up my money for conventions and cosplays because that's my convention season. But I had this strong instinct, like I had to check Mercari because like it just like came over me, like I had to check my listings, not my listing but my saved searches, and here she was popped up there for $17 hairs. I could not believe it. She was so cheap. I don't think the seller knew what they had, and I just bought her, and she's been in my house ever since, and I can't believe it. She's basically complete, not complete, she doesn't have her accessories, her hair ribbons, so I added my own hair ribbons from my own costume, and I don't need accessories because I lose them immediately, but I can't believe it that I have her. Oh, I love her so much. So she definitely deserves to be on number 2. She would definitely be number 1 if it wasn't for my next item, but they're basically tied. But I do like my next item just a little bit more, and you'll see why. But this was a miraculous find and one of the best Mercari purchases I ever found. Like, oh my goodness. Still can't believe I have her. Before we go to our number 1 spot on this list, I had to give some honorable mentions just because there's 2 things here I really wanted to mention in this video, but they didn't quite fit on this list for a number of reasons. But for my first honorable mention, I had to shout out this beautiful holiday Scalita doll I got. I did not buy this, so that way it's not on this list. This was gifted to me from my friend Megan for my birthday, but this is one of my favorite things I got this year. I think this doll is absolutely beautiful. It's even more special to me that it was a gift, and I wanted this doll. I went back and forth on it in my Amazon cart if I wanted to buy her, but never got around to it, so I'm so glad I never bought it because that means Megan got it for me for my birthday, and I did not know she was getting me this, so this has to be mentioned in this video. So that way I didn't make it onto the top 10 list just because I didn't buy this. This was gifted to me, but this doll is very cute and I love it a lot. And this is the only like Scalita doll I like from the latest collector dolls. The other Day of the Dead dolls, they're okay. But that Pacific Scalita, I think it's beautiful. I love the packaging. I love the warm purple with the orange. I think it's very, very nice. I love the warm tone palette. And for my other honorable mention, it's this Ladybug doll, because the reason why I didn't mention it on this list is because I think if you're like a normal viewer, it might be a little bit boring. Like, it doesn't deserve the top 10 spot, but for me, I definitely think it should be mentioned in this video. So this is the original release of Ladybug from Playmate Toys. If you don't know, Playmate Toys have multiple batches released of the Ladybug dolls. I also have the Marinette one too. She will be included in this video, but she's over there and I don't want to knock her over. But with the older releases for Playmate dolls, I think those are the best Rex Ladybug dolls to ever come out because their face molds and screenings for the original releases, like the first wave, is so much prettier than all the other face molds I've seen been released, and they also come a little bit more detailing in their outfits. So Ladybug, of course, come with her hair ribbons, and Marinette comes with those corduroy pants. Like, if you collect the Rex Ladybug dolls, you know about Marinette and her corduroy pants because they're supposed to be corduroy, and her face screening for that doll is beautiful. And they changed it once they did like the full batch in America, and they replaced it with a legging fabric versus the corduroy, and a lot of fans were upset with that. So I always wanted those dolls. Like, I do have one in box here, but I definitely want, if I could find more of the old batch of Rex Ladybug Playmate dolls, I would buy them. So I did find this lot on eBay that had all this great Rex Ladybug stuff from all sort of different companies, and this is one of the reasons why I bought it, because they had an out-of-box Ladybug with the hair ribbons with the old face mold, because look how beautiful that face mold is, and Marinette with the corduroy pants. So I did pick them up, and they're one of my favorite things because I reference this Ladybug a lot now in my unboxing, so I'm glad I can actually have her again. I think this screening of Ladybug is the best. Like, Playmates do a great job on their faces normally, but there's something about the first batch that came out, stunning, absolutely beautiful. And so I'm very glad, and one day I hope to have more of inbox of the older releases of Ladybug and Marinette. Like, I have the deep transforming Ladybug with the hair ribbons. I don't know if I got that this year or last year, but that's definitely a favorite of mine. Mentioning that too, I have one version of the Marinette with the corduroy pants, but I could hope I can find a Marinette with the hair ribbons and Ladybug in box. But I love the old Playmate first batch dolls. They're so beautiful. So I had to mention that. The reason why I didn't get on this list, because technically I already had this item, and again, if you're not really well versed in the Max Ladybug doll world, this might not be cool, but for somebody like me, this is a great find. It's the part we've all been waiting for, it, the #1 spot. So who could be the best purchase I did this year from my collection? This item beat out all the other stuff I bought this year. Everything on this list, like the Creep Production, the Brazilian doll, the Max Ladybug Zoom Zoom, and everything else I bought. What could beat all of that? What is this #1 spot? Well, my #1 spot go to, let me know if you're not surprised, but it's actually one of my Teen Titans girls. This is actually the girl, and now that I have it, I don't know where I can go from here because I peeked. And what I'm talking about is the Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack. In my opinion, this is the Beast Boy Raven 2-pack for Teen Titans collecting. This is one of the last releases of the Teen Titans Bondi toys, and of course there's this beautiful Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack and these a little bit more of a deluxe action figure, so their screening is much more nicer. Like the screenings and the molds on these 2-packs right here are stunning. And again, this is really hard to find because this is one of the last batches of Teen Titans toys that came out. So not only that this figure is 2-pack is hard to find, and like obviously a lot of people want this 2-pack because it is Beast Boy and Raven, but it's also expensive. So I wanted this for a while, but I couldn't pay the pricing that I saw for one listing one time that was like $175. I'm like, absolutely not. But I found this for basically half the price on eBay. So I knew I needed to have it. So even though it's expensive, this is definitely my most expensive Teen Titans item I bought. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. So again, it's the Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack. I know there's another Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack that came out with like the red box packaging. I do own that. I also got that this year. But I do think this one is the best one again because their screenings are so beautiful. And as I mentioned, Beast Boy is my favorite character. Raven is my other favorite character. And they're also my OTP. They're my favorite fictional pairing. So the fact that my two favorite characters are my favorite fictional pairing and they have a great 2-pack of them, you know that I want it so bad. And the reason why I call it the Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack, because they actually call it Beast Boy and Raven. On the other one, they don't call it the Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack, so this is like the only Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack. And again, it's older merch. This is last of the series. And again, I think these are some of the best Teen Titans moldings in general. These are way better than the normal play line. And I also had to give a shout out to, I also got the Robin and Starfire one because I got them from the same seller, but the Beast Boy Raven one cost me more. Like nobody bid, surprisingly, on like the Starfire and Robin set. I thought this one would be more sought after, but this one was the one that got bid on the most. But I still got this one too. Now again, the Beast Boy and Raven one is my favorite, but I also had to shout out the Robin and Starfire one that also came out in this series, because they look great as well. But my #1 thing this year definitely had to be this because, again, favorite pairing, toys, like everything about this is perfect, which is also fitting because I believe last year my favorite thing I got was also a Beast Boy action figure. It was like Beast Boy and his moped. So I think the theming probably is, if it's a Beast Boy action figure, it'll probably be #1. Unless something really cool had to beat it. Like if I was talking about stuff I bought in December, because I did buy a lot of cool things in December, those would probably beat all of those. But since I bought them in December, I'm not gonna say what it was, but I did got like the Korean figures, the Zack Hero Store, Adrianette umbrella scene. But since I got those like right before Christmas, I feel like that was not fair because they still have like that new like excitement about them, so then I put them in this video. But that Beast Boy Rare 2-pack, definitely. But anyways, that is the top 10 things I got this year, and I hope you find this top 10 list pretty interesting. I know most of it was probably just Teen Titans and Miraculous, but I did sprinkle in a little bit of Monster High here and there. And yeah, I'm glad I managed to put 10 here because usually, again, I do more because I usually buy more for my collection, but this year money was tight, so I couldn't buy as much for my collection as I normally would. But the stuff that I got this year, I was still very excited about, and I'm glad I still can do this list. So let me know which one was your favorite this year. Obviously, mine is definitely the Brazilian doll and the Beast Boy and Raven 2-pack, but if there's something here that you think should have been number one, let me know. Until then, that's all for today's video, and I hope you didn't find it boring or cringy, and I catch you in my next one. I have no idea what it is, but hope you watch it. And yes, if you didn't watch my last video, which was me making my Ladybug costumes, I did mention that I did cut my hair at 1 a.m. like a few months ago, and I'm in my short hair era now, so you realize, like, Tiffany, there's something off about you. Yes, I did cut my hair for no apparent reason. It was a spontaneous decision, and now I live with that decision for probably another few years until my hair grows long again. But until then, again, that's all for today's video, and I hope you enjoy it, and I catch you in my next one. So, since they had Miraculous in this video, let's say bug out, and when there's trouble, you know who to call.